She was a kind of a woman that explored, and she wanted to know everything about people that she didn't know.
Right.
And so she didn't know my mother, but she knew this.
She wore good jeans.
I wore good jeans. I wore with good jeans. But anyway, she took me home, and she raised me from a baby up. And I had this older brother at home that just adored me. His name was John, your Uncle John. And he was so good to me. They had a record player in the living room, and he would take me in there, and he would cuddle me up in his neck, and he would dance around the room with me and stuff. And Mother said he enjoyed that so much. And all the time that he was at home, because he didn't marry until late in life, he was 30 before he ever got married. And all the time that he lived at home, he never said an unkind word to me, never was cross with me. Nothing. It was in the relationship that he had with me, being so young. And I said to John, not too long before he died, I said, what did Mother tell you when she, was looking for a little girl? And he said, nothing. He said, I didn't know they were even getting a little girl until they walked in one day and they had you. That's how secretive my mother was.
Yeah. She
did not talk too much, or tell too much. She was a very private woman. But she raised me very, very well. She was so much older than I. She was 47 when she got me. And she didn't treat me like she was a grandmother, 47-year grandma. And she was very liberal with me. She let me do things. She let me start to date when I was a freshman in high school. And she, didn't hold me back from dating or anything like that. Only one time she had relatives, nuns, that came out to visit us, and they came up every summer. And I was a teenager, and I started to wear makeup early. When I was a freshman in high school, I started to wear bright red lipstick, and eye makeup and stuff. And that was okay with Mother. But when the nuns came, she was so embarrassed. Am I wearing lipstick? I was going to a dance one night, and they were there, and I wasn't allowed to wear any lipstick. And I wore it all the time. But she did not allow me to wear that lipstick when they were there. I don't know why. So I put eyebrow pencil on, and made my eyes real dark and everything because I had to have makeup on. I couldn't go out to a dance without makeup on, and so that was a funny incident. But other than that, she was very liberal with me.
She almost didn't let me marry her.
She investigated Jack. When I met Jack, she didn't know him, and he was not too well known to me. So she went in town and she met a man that knew Jack, and she found out. She said, what kind of a guy is he? I was thinking of married him. She said, I want to know what he's like. And he told her. And she came back and she told me what he said about Jack. And that's all she said. She only told me once, and that was it.
What did he say?
He said, well, he's a nice guy, but he drinks too much.
I was an elk.
The guy that she would talk to used to go to the auction, and he'd see him, and he drank too much. He said he's a nice guy, but he drinks too much. And then he said something about his grandparents were nice and stuff like that. And so Mother told me that, and she said, that's not a good idea to marry somebody that drinks. But I was smitten by him, and I thought, well, I can handle that.
So I opened a service station up. I put an advertisement in the paper, and I put my picture in there.
No, first of all, let me tell, when I met Jack, I was telling Mother, I said, oh, Mother, he's so handsome, he's so wonderful, he's so handsome. Now you can continue.
Oh, well, you tell her.
Well, you were telling him. Then he put a picture in the paper. He said, I had the paper when I opened it. He said, come in. So she saw the picture in the paper, and she said, is this what he looks like? She was very disappointed after I had built this great big build-up how handsome he was, which he was. He was extremely handsome, but not with his. He did have a cap on from service station cap, and it did detract a little bit from it because he had beautiful wavy hair, black beautiful wavy hair, hazel eyes, and he was very nice looking, and he had a tremendous personality that
I had beat him off with a club, especially old men.
Well, he was pretty good that way, but that was how well she didn't tell me again. She didn't nag about me because we were teetotalers. And my father always said, after 2 drinks, a man is drunk. He always felt you can't handle more than 2 drinks, you're drunk. And that's the way he was. He was not a drinker at all. And so I was raised as a more or less teetotaler. They had mother couldn't take wine because she said it hit her head, so she couldn't even handle wine or anything. So they didn't have it in the house. And she didn't go on nagging me about Jack drinking or anything. And after we got married, she never sided with me against Jack. She always was very kept out of everything.
So your grandparents, were they born in America, or did they come over from Europe, or what?
Who are you talking to?
Both of you.
My dad was Joe Rogers, and his mother, I understand, came over from Ireland when she was 12, and her husband came over at 19, and how they met, I don't know. But they lived here. We lived out of town, not in the country.
So your mother is the one who came to America?
No, they didn't come in from America. Their ancestors did.
Oh.
That was Dad's mother and Dad were the closest to the sod. His mother and father both came over from Ireland.
Okay, so you're Irish.
Irish, and Mother was Irish.
Okay.
Mother was a McCarran, and her parents didn't come over, and I don't even know whether her grandparents came over, but shortly, there was a connection there with McCarran that came over. They were both Irish.
My ancestors came from Europe, and stork flew over and dropped an egg on Plymouth Rock. That's how they started.
Right. Do you remember your grandparents, were they born in America, or?
Ones there, they were, as far as I know, I don't know anything about them,
right.
Other than we lived with them. He was a janitor at the YMCA, I remember that, taking my lunch to him down there occasionally.
I thought he was a glass blower.
Well, first he was, yeah. Retired, and then he got a job janitor at the YMCA uptown.
And his grandparents were very, very lackadaisical people too, because the grandpa would come home and have change, and he'd just throw it on the floor and let the kids pick it up and stuff. He wasn't frugal. They didn't seem to be a frugal people,
right?
Because they never owned their own homes or anything. They just rented all the time, and they didn't seem to be frugal. That they saved or anything.
Where's Church Mouse?
Yeah, his mother and dad, they didn't save, and my parents did. Now, they owned a home. They owned 42 acres of land. We had everything on that to live. We had all kinds of peach trees, pear trees, cherry trees,
Pigs,
apple trees.
Chicken.
I'm still on the fruit, Daddy. Grapes, rhubarb, raspberries, strawberries, all kinds of different apple trees, sweet apples, medium sweet, sour apples, made apple butter. They had a great big kettle they would put out in the backyard and put a big wood fire in it, and they had this about 50 gallons of copper kettle. The outside was black, cloth. The inside was copper. Inside was beautifully clean, shiny copper. And they made these big stirs with the end like this with a big long stick on it, and in the stir there were 3 holes, and they put corn cobs. The stuff that you bring off a cob. What do you call it? What do you do to a corn? You husk it, the husk, and they put it through that. Put it through those holes, and then they put it in those apples, and they were clean. They hadn't cleaned off, it was clean corn.
Yes.
And they would have 2 people, one on this side stirring back and forth in this great big humongous copper kettle. Made this beautiful, delicious apple butter. It took all day. It took all day to heat those apples and to cook them down until they would be nice, dark red apple butter. And they butchered pigs and chicken. We had chickens every Sunday, that kind of thing. And animals, they had cows and horses, and on 42 acres, and it was quite a nice little farm.